Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Marketing in Times of Recovery. And yes, I'm still your host, Ayo Abbas from Abbas Marketing. Well, today's episode is a bit of a quickie. It's a case of happy birthday to us and bye-bye for our summer break. On July 3rd, 2022, this podcast turns 2. Yes, it was over 2 years to the day that I released my first interview with Rachel Bell and Rob Sargent from Stride Triglawan. On this day, I thought I would share a bit more about the show and what's been achieved so far. I've loved podcasts and been an avid listener for quite a while now. My love for them started when I found out that I was pregnant with my son and wanted to learn more about motherhood fast. I'd never held a baby, let alone know what to do to keep one alive. Anyway, from there, my podcast interest grew and grew to what it is today. I had an idea that I wanted to launch my own podcast, and lockdown and a first for learning something new meant that on July 3rd, 2020, Marketing in Times of Crisis went live, which of course was rebranded to Recovery not too long ago. My podcast has just hit the milestone of over 6,000 downloads last week and is now 2 years old, which is great. I developed the podcast as a way for giving a home for the marketing conversations that I tend to have with my marketing friends, and also to show what good looks like when it comes to built environment marketing. I'm not an architect or an engineer, but I do love what they do, and my podcast, to be honest, is pretty niche. I don't talk about, the intricacies of design or any of that, because who am I to comment? But I do focus on what I know, which is marketing. I'm pretty selective when it comes to my guests, and I do try and ask people who I generally think are amazing at what they do. And some of them you may have heard of and some of them you may not have heard of, but they all have something in common. They do amazing work. And often they're the brains behind the people who are in the spotlight in a practice. I really wanted to bring these inspirational leaders out from the shadows by giving the work that they do the profile that they deserve. At times, my guests can be quite nervous about taking centre stage and telling their stories, but I found that this often leads to some of the best conversations. I'm now taking some time off for the summer, but no fear, I'll still be recording a few more episodes for release in September. Don't forget, over the summer, you can still spend time catching up on episodes 1 to 35. They're available on my website, which is www.abbasmarketing.com, and they're also available in all the main podcast places, so you're looking at Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you listen. Bye-bye for now and have a great summer.